Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Geeks and Degenerates. We've been doing animated movies, and if you've noticed our pattern, since you've seen the title, we've been doing overrated, underrated, and now with DreamWorks, it's overrated and underrated. And this movie is extremely. You okay, buddy?
No.
This movie is extremely underrated. But for the life of me, I don't understand why, because it is one of the greatest animated movies of all time. But we might go into the reasons why as we delve deeper into this movie. I'm joined once again by Jomar, as always. What's up, buddy? How is life? How are you
Sleepy,
doing? Ah,
as always, haggard. But no.
um, do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
Yeah. And it is kind of weird because I am actually in a house of not so religious people. I mean, we are religious. It's just that we don't really practice it all that much.
Hmm.
It's not really big here. But my mom and dad actually put this on, and I think we had a tape of it, a VHS of it, because it was made in 1998.
Mhm.
And we had those big ass boxes that you have to rewind. And yeah, I watched it here on my VHS, and as a kid, like I didn't understand a single thing. I was like, I know, oh, Moses is good. He parts the Red Sea, and that yeah, there's that. And then I see that's when I actually get introduced. I didn't read it from the Bible, or I didn't hear it from Sunday church. I saw it in this movie where I found out that, oh, the Pharaoh throws in the firstborns into the lake. Thank God I'm not a firstborn. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Um, I remember clearly watching this like on Cartoon Network a couple of years ago, like before the 2010s. Like it came on Cartoon Network during Easter, fitting enough. So I was like, I never seen this movie. And back then, for disclosure, right now, for the past 6 years, I have been an atheist. But back then, I was a Christian. So I was like, alright, it's Moses. I've never seen any Moses movie, why not? And then I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, why did I watch this before? This movie's good.
Yeah, it's hella good. Like, this is one of those movies where when you go to like Sunday church and they're like, oh, instead of a Bible study, we're gonna watch a movie that has a very large lesson, and they put this one on, and you're like, fuck yeah, like this is gonna be a banger. It's not those religious movies that it's a little bit kind of
Preachy.
cringy and forced. Yeah, very preachy. This one's like very subtle, and they don't really focus on the whole God aspect.
Yeah, they more or less focus on Moses and his relationships, especially to his people and to his brother.
Brother, I love the chemistry between Ramses and Moses.
Yeah, that's one of the best things of this movie that gets it going. It's like you really feel the connection they have, and when that connection is severed, you're like, oh shit, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, and of course, if any of y'all have been to Sunday church and you know the story of Moses, yeah, him and Pharaoh ain't doing so hot. I don't think they were brothers.
Well, they're
But
not blood brothers, but like,
I know, but I mean like, somebody correct me, they weren't really like step brothers. I'm stuck.
Moses,
But
I'm stuck.
they
Before
were
we,
really brothers in the Bible, right? They were just two different people, and one guy's like, "Let my people go."
I think this, I think they were raised as brothers, if I remember my Sunday school correctly.
They were.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh well, correct us.
Yeah, someone's correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
But before we go deeper into the story, one of the most amazing things that Evan and I discussed 2 years ago is the incredible cast. Because this movie had everyone who was big in the 90s.
Yeah, because we were like talking in like the P2P, the bus like on the way to Makati, and they were like, "Y'all remember Prince of Egypt? Like, yeah, like that was a good movie. Yeah, did you know Val Kilmer voiced Moses? Huh?"
And,
And we kept going. Or like Ramses was voiced by Voldemort.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah.
Yeah, And Michelle Pfeiffer was voicing the gypsy woman. I don't know, she's not gypsy, but like the girl who gets captured.
Moses' lover, his wife.
Yeah,
Sandra
love her.
Bullock is his sister.
Sister.
Jeff Goldblum is his brother.
I was like, why didn't I notice this before?
Um, what else? Patrick Stewart is the Pharaoh. And,
Pharaoh. I kind of noticed that. I kind of recognize
Yeah.
his voice.
and his wife is portrayed by Helen Mirren.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm so shocked today.
And of course, the priests are portrayed by Martin Short and Steve Martin. It's like,
Yeah.
that seems fitting. And as I did some research for this, like there are two more uncredited actors who voice like the extras. One of them is Mel Brooks, and the other one is Natalie Portman.
Okay, I'm guessing Natalie Portman voiced a little girl, but like, who's Mel Brooks?
I think they're just credited as like extra voices.
I guess, but like, okay, I get Natalie Portman because it was like the height of her. Like, she's not even like,
The beginning of her
yeah,
ascendancy.
yeah.
But like this movie is just beautiful to look at. Like the visuals alone, you're like, holy fuck.
And as I said from Cowboy Bebop, these are still done like hand-drawn animations. This is not digital.
Yeah.
And to see the scope and the amount of detail, yes, there's a little bit of a mix of 3D with 2D, but then majority of it is done by hand in 1998, and our TVs weren't that good yet to even
Appreciate it.
to appreciate every little detail that this movie had.
Now when you watch it on Netflix on your big screen, you're like, God damn,
Gotta
this is beautiful.
Like your TV didn't have like your TVs don't have like this huge ass box at the back of it.
My favorite sequence is like the parting of the Red Sea, and when they go in and they see like the Leviathan, you're like, God damn, it's beautiful.
Was that considered the Leviathan?
I don't know
Some
what that
people were
was.
like, "Oh, it's the whale that brought in what's his name to
Jonah?
Jonah to like."
I doubt that.
I don't know.
This
I
is
mean,
not the
that'll be
Bible
cool cameos.
cinematic universe.
I wish it was.
But it wasn't a whale. It had like the
Come on,
tail
yeah,
was
Joseph
like
the Dreamer, man.
the tail was like not whale like. So I was like, oh, must be like a megalodon thing.
I hope it was.
Yeah. Though someone was like, a friend of mine was like, for where they're going across the sea, it's pretty deep. I was like, yeah, it's not the Nile River, it's the Red Sea. You're getting it confused.
Red Sea. Sea.
Exactly. Otherwise,
You
you'd
know
just
the
be
thing
saying,
that's 70% of our planet.
it's not like if it was the Nile River, you just see a bunch of hippos and crocodiles being like, what the fuck is happening?
Hmm.
But like, yeah, but the visuals are great. Like even the overview, overhead shots of Egypt are
Not gonna lie,
beautiful to look at.
yeah, him splitting the Red Sea, is like the one of the most terrifying things I could go through. Like for me, if I was one of the Egyptians who are like trying to run away or one of the guards, and I see a huge ass thing in the sea, I'm like, no. I'll be like anxiety induced. I'm like, what's in these waters?
Um, but yeah, did you notice the face expressions are very, for like a better term, very expressive, very expressive. Like Ramsey's face when like Moses is like, you have to let my people go. This is why I've come back, and he's like, denial, anger, all in one. So then you're like, God damn.
The Nile isn't just the river.
Yes, it's in the motion.
But dude, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like every facial expression to Moses to Ramsey, but I think Ramsey the most because one they didn't put that much detail on his character, and they've put all of the work on his face. Him, you could tell that like Ramses is very okay. Like the Shrek movie, he has layers.
Yes.
Like he he wants to be a good brother, but he's a horrible person. You can see that, like, oh, these people are just slaves. What's the problem? Like,
Yeah,
he doesn't bat an eye, or it
same
doesn't jar him that he, like, people die in
same with
front of
his
him.
father.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Seti is very warm, but like at the same time, he fed thousands of babies to the crocodiles. Which, by the way, this shit is hardcore at times.
I got like, yeah, this is like hardcore jungle gym kind of deal. Like, you know how kids were rough and tough, but now everything's more censored.
Yeah, like I said in Shrek, the parents' face with the adult jokes must have been like, damn. Watching the opening, watching babies being slaughtered, they must have been like, oh my god.
Ooh, I'm just saying, hippos aren't nice.
No, they're not. Um, but yeah, Seth and Ramses are horrible people.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, but I mean the dynamic of Ramses though, like the fluctuating of emotions of him, like, I love my brother, but I want to not be the weakest link. You can see that, like, there's so much pressure on him. He wants to be great. He wants to hold himself high, but then again, he is worried of failure. And
yeah,
like when he was in front of his son, he was like he was seeing eye to eye with Moses at that point. He was like, "Oh, you might be right." But his son walks in, and it jars him. It scares him. That, like, I don't want to look weak in front of my son. I don't want somebody else telling me what to do. And then so he stands his ground. He's like, "Nah, I ain't letting my people go. Letting your people go." And I'm
y-
like,
did you
"Damn."
notice that, like, every shot of him and his father, like the statues?
The Sphinx,
Yeah,
the
like
Sphinx.
his father is always like overshadowing him. Like he's still under his father's shadow.
Especially those times where he's like, he has like that one spot of like a statue, and he
Yeah,
sits like on the lap of it. I think, is that the dad statue?
I think it is.
Yeah, so there he's on his daddy's lap. So he's
Yeah,
always like,
he's a daddy's boy. But
yeah,
like,
and like every shot though, like a drawing of the Pharaoh, is always looking down on him.
yeah, it's like thanks, Dad.
Foreshadowing.
Um, but like I do love Moses' arc from being like a spoiled prince to being the leader of the Hebrews to set them free. I was about to say like
Mm.
Israelites, like they're not Israelites technically yet.
No, wrong one, wrong one,
Yeah.
wrong Bible story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, of course, if you know the story, you know the story. But like, this is so compelling me because it really focuses on Moses and his character development and his struggle, like being like when he meets his sister and Jeff Goldblum outside. I'm not sure to call him Jeff Goldblum because I forgot his name.
Mm.
But she's like, you know, you're our brother, and he's like, excuse me.
Ah, yeah, and
Uh,
you can see Jeff Goldblum's characters like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like the crazy ones. He's like trying to appeal, even though he knows deep down like that is his brother. But of course, he has to like play it down. Which
yeah,
I kind of like. You can see how much fear the royalty has on the slaves of its people. Like,
yeah.
damn.
And then like he goes back to his place and he has this wild dream of being chased by the Egyptian army, and he sees the atrocities his father has committed. And his dad's like, "Oh, my son, they're just slaves." And he's like,
Slaves. And they say
"Okay,
this a lot. It is like a hard hitting thing. Like, even after that, you see an old man being whipped, and then Moses comes in and accidentally kills one of the guards. And you see Ramses is like, I was like, Moses goes like, I killed this man. And it's like, why does it matter? They're just slaves. I'm like, fuck. Like, at some point, you see Ramses being like very nice and very, like, a very good character to Moses, and then he says these things. I'm like, I keep forgetting there are these kind of people.
oh, fun fact, like the voice of the old man being whipped is one of the directors."
Not gonna lie, he did a very good whipping voice.
Yeah, and the voice of the angel of death is another one of the directors.
I
So
wanna. We'll get to that scene later.
yeah, um, But yeah, apart from being a great epic tale that teaches you that, like, you know what, not all epics have to be 4 hours. They can be 1 hour 30, and it's fine. Like, have you seen like the runtime for like the Charlton Heston Moses? Like 4 hours. Like, that's called go fuck yourself.
Was it called the Ten Commandments?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I like Moses being so white. And all of the other Hebrews too, and the Egyptians for that matter.
And okay, I gotta lie, like, to all y'all who don't like it when white people are like, yes, majority. I think all of everybody here who is voiced by white people. So
Yeah.
don't get upset by it. They could.
Yeah, but at least
These are
here,
amazing voice actors.
at least here,
They
in
represent
anime-
Egyptians, not white people.
Yeah, and at least for the characters, their skins are the correct color. It's
Exactly.
not like Moses is white as Charlton Heston. So you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Ah, yes. The Egyptian sun is haggering his skin.
It's like what was the name of the Christian Bale movie?
Gods of Egypt.
No, it's not true. Butler one.
Oh, Moses.
Christian Bale as Moses. That movie is like, yes, I see we haven't learned from the 50s. That's amazing. Thank you, Ridley Scott.
Something's wrong here.
But out of all those movies, this is obviously the more superior tale of Moses, and a better Egyptian movie. Because like the other Egyptian movie I can think of is the Gerald Butler one.
Oh,
Gods of
no, that's
Egypt.
the Gods of Egypt one, where they have like armor, Anubis armor kind of deal, like the stuff. But
Like, are you fucking Transformers? What's going on here? Anyway,
Patrick Stewart is a Pharaoh. You get a little bit sympathetic for the character because he doesn't want this kingdom to fall, and he's putting all of it on the shoulders of Ramses. And as much as he wants it, he doesn't want it to be. Ramses is the weakest link, and I don't know. You can tell like he still loves Moses. You can tell he's like a father figure. The man is like a. But then we get that scene where they reveal the tapestry of like. Why would they have that also?
like,
look at the great achievements I've had. I've
Isn't it-
thrown babies into the Nile.
isn't that all ancient civilizations though? Like, I'm sure the Aztecs didn't think that through when they made murals of them pulling hearts out. Like, yes, look at our great
Okay, no,
civilization.
but that was in good.
Good.
Intention.
Good.
Okay. No,
Like,
because they were like,
the
"Oh,
sun won't rise."
We gotta pull out the heart as a sacrifice so the gods don't fucking kill us. Of course, you would write that down. Like, of course, you'll be like, "Hey, future generations, for the gods to not kill you and the ones that we believe in, this is what you do."
Well, not the Aztecs, but at least like Rome. When, like, we conquered a civilization. We destroyed that
Hey,
civilization
man. History is written by the ones that won. So,
too. Wow. Sure, that's
just
why.
saying, hey, man, we had this whole Columbus thing and we thought he was a good guy.
That is true. And, well, thankfully now we know better. So fuck Columbus.
Exactly. So, fuck you, Columbus. But see what I mean?
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. Trust me, if Egypt was like the most advanced city in the world today, people would have looked at that tapestry and be like, "That's how we do it." Yeah, what he did there was right. Those babies were evil. I think they would have gone that way. Or something.
It's like kind of like the mural in Thor Ragnarok. I'm sorry we keep diverting for a bit, but like the mural in Ragnarok where the real history of Hela and Odin's revealed.
I mean, give Odin some credit. He at least covered it.
Yeah. But for a time he's like, isn't that pretty? And people be like, oh god.
Oh, not really. You gotta cover them. All right.
But yeah, again, all ancient civilizations or civilizations now have their, skeletons in the closet, like Spain.
And sometimes they like to leave that closet very open.
Yeah. You know what? You have to acknowledge the dark history in the past so we can move forward.
And learn from them.
Yeah.
Not forget them.
Because if we ignore them or forget them, like, we're just doomed to repeat.
We're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do it again. Anyway,
like us? No, I hope not.
want to say that was a bad joke, but it's like you're right. But anyways, going back to the movie.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh, again, I kind of like the villains here.
Yeah, they're very.
Besides the two magicians, I find them annoying. But like Ramses is such a good villain. The man doesn't know what he wants to be. He wants to be a good king, somebody who has authority, but then again he trusts his brother.
Yeah, and he wants to have that relationship back.
Yeah, he loves his brother too much that he's like, I'm willing to compromise. Why are you pushing me away? Well, here's the reasons why. And it pans towards Egypt and with all the slaves.
The other thing about this animated movie, since we've been talking about animated movies throughout this whole week,
Yeah.
this is the only one that's a musical.
Yeah.
Is there any musical number that you really like?
Okay, now as much as I don't like them, playing with the big boys now was really sick.
Like, if you compare that to like every other like middle song from Disney or whatever, like Disney has Hakuna Matata or like Prince Ali or something like that. This is fucking like up to 11. We're like, oh damn.
Oh fuck! They give us a silhouette of 3 snakes, and 2 of them is pretty much destroying another snake. I'm like,
one of them is like devouring 2 of them at once, right?
oh wait, oh right, the one snake one.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. That's God's snake.
Yeah.
That snake is the number 1 snake.
For me, Deliver Us. Again, not poking the Disney bear, but like, Circle of Life has nothing on that. Just like
Which one's Deliver?
the opening.
Okay, yeah.
And the Plague song is pretty. Holy fuck, that's pretty good.
Oh hell yeah, it has a Citizen Kane kind of feel.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I recognize those shots with the whole newspaper in space. It's like, very nice, very nice. I like that. I like that. It's kind of like a really good montage kind of segue of like what Moses can do.
Yeah.
He pretty much brought 2020 to Egypt.
That's cool that they did all the plagues at once. Because I remember in Sunday school, that's like first it's the locusts.
It takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. So if they did that here, we'd be like, I am bored out of my mind. But
who
no.
knows? Maybe it was a time span of like 2 years, and they had to wait for a vaccine.
Anyway, but yeah, the play song is very intense, and it shows how big the divide is between Moses and Ramses. You're like, I guess you can't come back from that. Nope.
Well, after that, Moses like dropped hellfire upon the city. I don't think you could come back from that. Not at all.
Yeah, we're going back for a bit. I do like the Through Heaven's Eyes song too, because that's a good song as well. Like, and I love the character of Jethro, played by Danny Glover.
The dad.
Yeah.
He's like the main guy of the village.
Yeah, he's such a Chad. He's like, I want to hang out with this guy.
Yeah. Want to marry my daughter? Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's where also Moses meets God, voiced by Val Kilmer as well.
Moses is God.
Yes.
That scene was like very like that is the only time you get to hear or like any presence of God is that scene, and maybe it's only like maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's done. And then it focuses back to the main characters. And I like that. I like it that because it's not, oh, I don't want to see God in my movies. No, it's not that. It's that it gives this whole mystical aspect to God, to something I believe in. And I'm like, yeah, he works in mysterious ways. And I like that. It's represented here. You don't get to see him much, but when you do, it's kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Kind of like, the Wizard of Oz. Like, you don't really see him.
Exactly. You the entire movie's named after the dude, and then you don't see him until the end.
Yeah, but unlike that, it's like he's not like a man in the machine being like, "Oh, hi, what's up?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? We never know.
We
God
never
lives
know.
in the same grave. Just pray, just pray.
Sure. But yeah, after the plays, Ramsey's still like, ayaw. So Moses is like, fine. If they want to relent, I'll use my trump card. I don't like using that word, though. But like, I'll use my Angel of Death card. And that scene alone.
Kaiba.
That scene alone is fucking creepy. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Just watching
No,
the thing go over them, and then
no,
hearing
Moses
their
just releasing every monster in his deck.
Yeah.
From locusts to plagues to hellfire. Blood sea.
It took me a while to be like, oh, they're getting their souls. Damn.
That shit was terrifying. Not gonna lie. Like, besides the Red Sea splitting and seeing like gigantic sea creatures that do not resemble whales, that alone was like very scary because I mean, I would have been a skeptic. I'm like, why would I kill my goat? It's a waste of goat
Yeah.
or sheep.
And then your son just dies. Like,
And I'm like,
damn it.
damn, I could have prevented that. But for me as a kid, that was just terrifying because like I didn't have like the grasp of death until I
Right.
saw until you see like this offhand like hand just like dying like that. Like,
Yeah, for most kids, it was Mufasa. For us, it's like, oh, that's dead.
but the thing is, yeah, sure, the Pharaoh like killed a lot of kids, but not gonna lie, Moses had his body count.
Yes. Even the guard, the fact that you could see it too coming towards you, the guards were like, oh, hell no. I'm not getting paid enough for this.
I think if I was a guard, I'm like, yo, if he could do that, what more can he do? Can we just like leave?
And by the end, the scene where you hear all of Egypt crying, you're like, God damn, it's hunting.
And Moses is like, that's my blue eyes white dragon.
Exactly. And the scene, the shot of Ramses with his firstborn and the light, and Moses behind him, that's an incredible shot, but it's also very
Again,
tragic.
another Citizen Kane look.
Yes. Oh, man. And then Moses is like, and he's like, what? And again, expressions from like grief to like just rage on his eyes.
Hmm. But I mean, like Ebony Moses, can't you give him a little bit of time? But he's like, now can we go now?
It's like,
Just go.
you couldn't give me a day, man? Fine, go.
Give me a day.
Dealing with some heavy shit here. And
Like,
even
shit, man. Moses is like, shit, man. What got you? Oh, right.
I do like the fact that Italy weighs heavy on Moses too. So that like,
Oh, yeah.
all the first ones are gone. Good for you. Good for them.
Okay, yeah, not gonna lie. You could see that Moses kind of had a little bit of like, it like pushed him back a bit. Like,
Yeah.
what have I done? I know it's for the greater good, but like, the fuck did I do? Especially to his own nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I just realized that's his one and only nephew, and now he's gone. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, and he kind of stumbles. And I'm not gonna lie, not a good move from the sister to start singing and be like, "Hey, everything's gonna be good. We're leaving."
Again, it's like, give me
A day.
I'm
Give
in it.
Shut up. No, I mean, I'm gonna agree. Like, she could have. I don't mind her singing. The We Believe song. Like, she was singing that song, and everybody knows that song. But in my opinion, what they should have done is that she could have sang it alone. And seeing Moses walk with grief, walk with regret, but still has a responsibility on his shoulders from a
Yeah.
distance, kind of hits heavier.
Yeah.
Or it would really hit heavy. It will hit heavier compared to like, hey buddy,
Everything's gonna be alright.
There's sunny skies, blue skies. Let's go. I'm like, does not sit well for me. It like that's why I don't like We Believe song all that much.
Hmm.
It's because how it started is that Moses grieved bearing the weight of responsibility, and then they're like sunny blue skies. I'm like, it was a bit too jarring for me.
Yeah,
But then again, we followed it up with the Red Sea arc.
yeah, and like I don't know why at this point Ramsey's like maybe the god is legit.
I know,
Maybe I
right?
should just
It's like,
stop.
actually, okay, not gonna lie. If I was Ramses and they took my son away and took my people away and took away my kingdom, I've been like, hey, I got nothing to lose. Fuck it. Fuck you, Moses. I'm going after you.
Yeah, and then that's why you see him charge Moses and the rest of his people about to Avada Kedavra the shit out of them.
That was good. That was
I've
good.
been saving that. But he forgets halfway through, like, his chariot is not a fucking Hot Wheels toy. So he can't really go up or down ramps.
Like it's like bouncing off, and then the wheel just separates. I was like,
What if he died? Like, what do we do now?
I mean, I think if they just took a horse and stop using them chariots, just take one horse. You're
Yeah.
like 2 horses per person. Just take one, and you can have more arms.
I do like the fact that, like, even though, yes, he's charitless, he still just feel, like, rage and hate. That he's like, you just kill them all. I'll follow.
Exactly. So, but I like that. He's a man who has nothing to lose anymore. So, if you say, "Oh, the power of God is like," yeah, I shouldn't trifle with that anymore. Nah. What's more compelling than a man who's willing to fight God?
And, like, when I first watched this, I'm like, this better be accurate to the story, because they're pretty close to Moses. Please. And Moses is like, God, my dude, are you going to do anything?
And then he starts dropping the sea. I'm like, wait, I'm still in here. But then you see Jeff Goldblum, like, must go faster, must go faster.
Yeah, at the point he's talking to his donkey, he's like, yeah, ooh, starts that way, and then they're screaming.
yeah.
We're having so much fun. That's fun.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum.
And then, after they escape the Red Sea, there's like one more pull at the heartstrings. You're like, God damn it, why? So Ramsey's calling out to Moses, and Moses is going, goodbye, brother. And you see his face of like regret and sadness, and just turns around, and just walks to his people like, that's good.
He still had people to leave.
Yeah.
And I like this. I like that it was a bittersweet ending. This is not a kids movie, though. I hated that it was advertised as a kids movie.
Right?
Yeah, like, you gotta give this one credit. A lot of people didn't watch this movie because they thought it was a kids movie, and it was because it was advertised that way. But then when you watch this, it's like them throwing in kids into the Nile River with crocodiles and hippos. I'm like, a little bit fucked up. Blue Eyes White Dragon spirit shit start, murking every firstborn.
I doubt Disney would ever do a movie like that.
No,
Like
they don't
this.
have the balls to do it.
No. Like, we've been going to the beginning for a bit. Like, the shot of, like, the soldier just entering the house, like, bashing the mom with a shield, and raising his sword, and it cuts away, and he's walking away, but you're like, holy fuck, he just cleaved the child in half.
Exactly. So I'm like, this is the first part, by the way.
Yeah.
First minute of this movie. Okay, not really. There was like this whole exposition shit. But like, first 5 minutes of this movie is people murking children. So, to all you people who think cartoons are just for kids, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Or watch the movies that we talked about, especially Cowboy Bebop
And Treasure Planet, please.
and Treasure Planet as well. I mean,
But
I feel
yeah.
like that's a little bit more lighthearted compared to this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think the other thing too is, like, it's based on the Bible, and I'm not religious. Look, I'm an atheist, but I still love this movie because it is so good. It's a great
movie.
character movie.
Yeah.
And it's an epic. Like, if you're not in the mood to watch, like, say, Gladiator or, like, Braveheart, you can watch this. It still gives you the feels. Happiness, joy, sadness.
And if
all
you
that.
don't like watching Gladiator and Braveheart, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. Anyway.
Okay.
But I do like how the movie ends where, like, the music swells, the deliverer swells, and you see Moses coming out of the mountain with the 10 Commandments, and he just looks at his people like, forget how the rest of the story goes. This is the perfect ending. Like, you don't need to know the other chapter. Just end
Yeah.
there.
again, this movie is a really good movie, especially as a religious movie.
I wouldn't even say
But
it's
the thing,
religious. It's more like a human
I
story.
it is very a human story, but I mean with religious aspects
Yeah.
in it. So we still gotta count it as that.
Mm.
But
Well, as you said, it's not like
okay, a religious story that focuses on the humans
it's not
for the
like
people.
Sorry, it's not like God's not dead. You're like, I get a message. Thank you.
Well, like, God, shut up. Okay, yeah, I'm religious, but at some points that shit can get
Yeah.
annoying. But this one wasn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't in your face. It wasn't like Die Hard kind of like this is the message. No. It gives it to you bit by bit because this movie knows you're smarter than that.
Yeah.
It gives you facial expressions. It gives you character moments. Gives you character build-ups, and like at some points, even when the Red Sea closes on the Egyptian guards, they give us a minute of silence on what the hell just fucking happened.
Right.
Yeah, as divine as it was a very human scene. The fact that people are like, that shit just fucking happened. Holy fuck. No pun intended.
But like, yeah, it's not like Moses stops and looks at people like, I can't wait to be lost for 40 years. But and again, forget what happens when he goes down the mountain because I don't want to touch upon that. I don't think you remember though. Like, yeah,
I don't.
good, because I do. Like, that's kind of a bummer scene. At the end of there.
It's just very ironic.
Yeah.
The fact that the atheist knows more than I do.
But yeah, this was like kicked off like a series of like really underrated movies too, like this and Joseph the Dreamer and El Dorado and I forgot Sinbad. Like although these four movies are like very underrated, but they're still pretty good watches.
And at some points, way better than the Disney shit, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
this is the shit I grew up with. This is the stuff I watched. Other than Lion King, as great as these movies were, Lion King, Hercules, these weren't the things I grew up with. It was the Prince of Egypt, Joseph the Dreamer, El Dorado, and like Sinbad. I was like, these were the shit I watched, and were very close to my heart.
Yeah.
That's why.
Again, like with Circle of Life, it's like let's gather around and bow down to the predator. Here, the opening is like just setting up the struggle of the Hebrews and the oppression they're under.
You
And-
can tell this movie's very gray. It's not black and white.
Yeah. And I kind of think Ramses is kind of a better villain than Scar, actually.
He is a very better villain than Scar. I'm not gonna lie. Ramses is my favorite character.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, Ramses is my favorite character.
Again, there's not
Like-
decking on Scar, but like Ramses has so much more layers to him.
Scar, sure, he was a villain. He had goals, but
But you didn't feel
Ramses-
sorry for him. You're like,
yeah,
when like
I mean,
he died, when he dies, you're like, good for you, piece of shit.
exactly. But here you're like, can somebody mercy kill Ramses because I feel bad?
Like, can just a tidal wave just sweep him over the rocks one more time?
And the whale in the water just eat him. Like, I don't want this man to live in agony in an empty city.
But yeah, not again. We're not decking on the Disney movies because I love the Disney movies as well. But like
Same here.
DreamWorks, it's another energy, definitely.
It hits different. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I say not gonna lie a lot, man. I have a drinking game to this review.
Please don't kill our viewers. Anyway, before we wrap up, I want to ask, what's the first movie you remember watching as a kid? Not the movie that made you be like, movies are good, but like the movie that made you as a kid be like, I like. Somewhere in your brain, you're like, I like watching movies.
That gave me like a little bit more of a brain to just like, oh, I know the bad ones from the good ones.
Yeah, or like I just like sitting down and watching.
Oh, shit, that's hard. That's hard to do.
Apparently, according to my mom, the first time she took me to the movie theater was Hercules, but I kept running up and down the stairs. So it's like, yeah, he's not ready for this. But like, I remember back when VHSs were a thing, the two ones I played the most were The Lion King and Jurassic Park. Like, my mom would say like she would go leave for work and I would be watching The Lion King, and then she would come back watching The Lion King. She'd be like, "Did he not move from that spot?"
For me, it was Jurassic Park. Like that is the one where I just kept watching and watching. But to be honest, like what made me more critical of movies, like I was very critical of movies before, but what made me more like think a little bit harder, look a little bit deeper in movies was Blade Runner.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very recent. Like it's very recent that like I started feeling these ways about movies.
I think that for me was the Ron Howard movie, with Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind is that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, kid, for me was Lion King and Jurassic Park.
Also,
like,
Dark Knight. Dark Knight also got me like, oh, I know the bad ones from the good ones.
and a bit of Anastasia, which is another underrated movie where there's like, well, I'm glad it played out this differently from history because I don't want to be sad.
Because I swear, that first scene at the train, that's pretty much it.
That's where it ends for all of them.
She gets trampled. That's pretty much.
But yeah, but it's not about Anastasia. Maybe we'll touch upon it someday because it's a good movie, especially Christopher Lloyd as the villain. One. I was like, when do you get that? But I was like, wait, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the thing.
Yeah. Oh, also, did you know that the score was done by Hans Zimmer?
Anastasia?
No. Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It fits the whole epic feel.
Yeah. He did the same thing from Lion King because that also lends into the epicness of that movie. But yeah, that has been our video on Prince of Egypt.
We didn't rate it. We didn't rate it.
Oh, who cares? No. Here it is. I will give this movie a 10 out of 10. It is a true classic, and I think it should be appreciated more. From the characters to the scope of the score, the scope of the story, to the music, as Jomer pointed out, it's all excellent. Unlike a lot of, not just this, but like a lot of other animated movies, there's not a boring song. It's all like going up and up and up. But like, again, just the fact that it's about Moses and about religion doesn't mean you should ignore it because it is a good movie and it has such a high score on Rotten Tomatoes for a reason. I would like to think. But yeah, 10 out of 10. This movie is excellent.
For me, I would say that I'll give this a 9.5 because there was a scene here that I wish went differently because it was too abrupt, and it was the When You Believe starting of that song. But it's not gonna take away that this movie is an amazing. It is not in your face kind of deal. Here is the message. No, it knows that it knows its viewers are smart. It knows that the people who are watching this will get the message throughout the movie that they could do it slowly. And yeah, the score is fucking amazing. The writing is amazing. The characters are amazing. Everybody here stood out. And even though they were there for like maybe 3 minutes of like screen time, they still did an amazing job voicing those characters.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the best villains in maybe cinematic or animation history is that it's what's his name, Ramses. I almost fucked it up, but yeah, the amount of layers in every character in this movie is actually surprising. Like what they could do in an hour and 30. And you're not gonna get bored. If you're in Sunday school, kids, and they bring this up, be very excited because you are gonna watch an amazing movie.
Yes.
A little bit traumatizing, but amazing.
Well, it's not as traumatizing as the Mel Gibson religious
Mel-
movie.
Sorry, Mel Gibson,
Mel Gibson religious movie. You know what I'm talking about.
Passion of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's meant for kids at all. So,
Tell that to our values teacher.
I don't know, man. Our school was weird.
Our school was very maybe one day without naming it. Of course, we'll touch upon it for like a Q&A.
Yeah, we'll yeah, for a Q&A, we're like just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mosh Pit episode 5 trauma. What? Anything else to say about Prince of Egypt?
No, just watch it. Just yeah, if y'all got the time, it's on Netflix. Watch it. 'Cause I swear, you're not gonna be wasting your time on this one. This is a legit good movie.
Yes. And that is all the time we have. Thank you for watching our video on Prince of Egypt. If you like our video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/geeks and the Generous. We post a lot of extra content, such as video game streams, trailer reactions, and all that jazz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Indalphus1995. The links are down below. Forget the name. John, where can they find you individually?
You can find me at Jom GEOM. It's my Instagram art accounts. Yeah, if you like art, hey, stop by.
Yes, and as Nina always says, please don't fall add us on Facebook because that is the line we draw in the sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Thank you so much.
but yeah, please continue to stay safe, wear masks, social distance, and get vaccinated if you can. This is us signing out. I am Enza, and that is John. Goodbye.